everybody. That's what the internet is saying. Fire everybody. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. But and as I finish my tirade, I am Peter Brown. And of course, I am joined by the better half of this duo, our friend, everybody's favorite uncle, Uncle Ed. How you doing, Ed?
How's it going, guys? Thanks for joining us. And wow, I saw the internet as well. All social media is saying get rid of everybody. So we're gonna cover it.
We're gonna talk about
that right now.
We're gonna talk about and when I say fire everybody, it doesn't mean I necessarily feel that way. But I took the pulse. I took the pulse of the people, Ed, because I'm a people's person. I'm a people's person. Right. I took the pulse of the people, and the people say, fire them all, get them all out of here. Let's start over. Now we know it's not that easy, and we'll talk about that tonight. But that's the general feeling of the Inter Miami fan base. It's just burn it all down, start all over. So we'll talk about that tonight, and whatever else you guys have as well, we shall cover. But another fun episode of FMTV Weekly. Of course, the subject matter is not necessarily fun because, we lose. And that's just kind of like what we do. And, the funny thing is, Ed, my daughter walks into the room and I'm watching the game the other night. And I tell her they're losing. And she's like, well, of course. All your teams lose. So everything I cheer for loses.
And it happens with me, too. My wife is like, I tell the same thing to my wife. I'm like, she's like, so who won? I was like, they lost again. She's like, you should be used to it already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'm not used to it, Peter.
It's normal, right?
I don't want to get used to it.
Look, I mean, I was a longtime fan of the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, and what did they do in the last 10 years, I guess? Lost a lot, The heyday of the early Strikers with Ray Hudson, that was a different story, but the later incarnation of the Strikers, they lost a lot as well. So I guess I'm used to it. I'm like, whatever. But we move on. And at the end of the day, we support this team through and through. And that's it. But in another good way to support is to go to our friends at Caneswear. Caneswear has been having some amazing sales lately. And if you have not gone there, what the hell's wrong with you? They have been having like 40, I don't remember off the top of my head, but they're amazing sales on the white jersey. They're like 40% off or something crazy like that. But they just go to caneswear.com or go to the store and get yourself a jersey with the new logo on there, the new sponsor logo, or without. Some people don't like it, so fine, get it without. It's up to you. You want last year's Rosa Negra with the XBTO? No problem. They'll give it to you. So you want this cool looking 305 shirt? Go to Caneswear. They can do it for you. So anyways.
What I'm wearing too. You can get this one too.
Right. It's they just got the best the best prices in town. Kata says he got the white jersey for $50. So there you go.
Nice. There you go.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Peter.
Let's talk about all the people that are joining us. The first guy that was on was Chris Menendez. How you doing, Chris? I saw him. He got on like really, really early, and for some reason it's not showing up again right now. So, but how you doing, guys? I saw a lot of people were getting on real early. I guess they want to be the first.
Everybody's got a lot of frustration. They want to share.
They want, yeah. And Peter, you should put down that number so people could call and let us know. Put it on the chat or call us in and let us know what you think about, Inter Miami.
Yeah,
probably not going to make unless there's a miracle that we win every single game. I don't think we're going to.
Yeah, 786-474-4435. Yeah, then let's talk about that in a few minutes for sure.
All right, Peter. I also want to say hello to Jose Velasquez. How you doing, man? Good old Jose. Esteban Dido.
He's always here. Yep.
He's talking relegation. We got B King. How's it going, B?
He's saying, give it some time. Give it some time.
Mm-hmm. We got Jazz Fusion.
Always. Yep.
How's it going, Jazz? Always supporting us here. of course, we can't do the show without one world, one goal. She's always saying hello. Yeah, and no pizza because,
And Ed,
I'm telling you.
I ordered pizza the other night. I ordered pizza from a local pizza place, and I thought about that. Like, should I wait to order pizza the next night because we might win? And then I go, forget about that. Let's order it tonight. I'm not going to get that pizza deal. I'm not going to get the Papa John's deal. So let's just, But hey, if you're into Papa John's, good news. They're also a sponsor of the Florida Panthers, and apparently they won. So,
well, that's good.
Their season is kicked off, and they're doing better than Inter Miami. So, you can get some.
So far. I also want to say hello to Anthony Ornelas. How you doing, bud? Yeah, the Dolphins suck he's talking about.
They all suck.
Yeah, most of them are pretty bad. Kata, you already mentioned Kata. We have this guy from Endo. Endo. How you doing, bud? Endo.
Been a while for Endo.
Yeah. And there's Miami Mac.
So Miami Mac, does that mean he's like me and he's a Macintosh user? What's the Mac? What's the Mac for? Is he a Mac Daddy or is he using the old Macintosh? Yeah. I'm curious.
Or McDonald's?
Oh, is he a fan of the Big Mac?
Might be. So guys, go ahead and leave us a message in the chat if we didn't mention you. Or let us know what you think. Call 786-474-4435 and leave us a message and tell us what you think. We're going to tell you what we think.
It's MacDonald. He said he's Scottish heritage, and it's MacDonald. There you go.
Look at that. See?
Not McDonald's per se, but he's a Scottish. Right. I don't even know if I'm saying. I can't do a Scottish accent. I can't do accents. I can just do it like
you got to do it like Sean Connery. You ever done Sean Connery?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit like this, right? I don't know. I don't know.
My brother does it really well. I can't do it.
I can't do it either. I can do a Roger Rabbit, but I can't do a Sean Connery.
I will do the Roger Rabbit.
Hidden talents. Now, let's save that for another time.
All right, Peter, where do we start?
People are just like, Endo's like, I lost it when the Finns lost to the Jags as well. So it's everybody. Everybody's out. I wanted to watch some of that game today, the Dolphins game, because I turned it on. It was pre-show. So I turned it on early. And because they were playing in London. So the game was on at like 9 or 10 in the morning, whatever it was. And I started to watch it. And my daughter walks in the room going, "Can I change this channel?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." They're gonna lose. And it wasn't like
they played in Wembley, I take it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I think it's the only stadium that doesn't have any soccer going on right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what stadium it was at. Like I said, I didn't see any of the game because I let my daughter change the channel. So Ed, they got embarrassed. They got embarrassed again. And I'll tell you, like I said, I immediately go to Facebook, Twitter, and all the stuff, and all anybody is talking about is fire everybody, fire the coach. I had a little fun with the thumbnail today, so that was we both I think agree that Neville needs a little more time, right? And you've said on this show that Neville needs a little more time. Now, after watching that game, do you still feel, Ed, that Neville needs a little more time?
Oh, man. It was, and I want to bring up that, we could have scored a goal. It was just, in the beginning, and it looked like, I want you to bring that up because you mentioned something before we started the show.
Yeah,
go ahead.
We're old-time soccer fans here, and some of you guys that listen, like One More, One Goal, you're old Miami Fusion fans. So if you go back to the Miami Fusion, the first Miami Fusion game was against DC United at a packed Lockhart Stadium. Lockhart Stadium never looked so beautiful as it did that night with Phil Shane and calling the game. Can't remember.
Ty Keogh, I think it was.
Ty Keogh. I was trying to remember the. Yep. And I had this game on VHS. I actually still think I do have it somewhere. I don't know if it works because I don't have a VHS player anymore. But Dan Stebbins was our kind of Robbie Robinson. He was our young attacker. I think he was one of the draft picks. I'm not 100% sure, I think he came up from the USL. Whatever. And if I remember correctly, he was like the goal scoring leader in the USL the year prior. So he's got
the A-League back then?
Yeah, probably called the A-League back then. But he's got like a pass from the midfield, whatever it was. Maybe it was Valderrama, I don't remember. But pass down, perfect. He's got a line on the goalkeeper. You know he's going to score. I mean, it's an obvious goal. He's going to score. And instead of actually hitting the ball nicely and getting it in the net, which would have been easy, even I could have scored that goal, right? He hits the dirt. He hits the dirt. And from that day on, Dan Stebbins, to me, was Dan Stubbins. He stubbed his toe on the turf.
Wow. Well, that's something.
That memory might have just been usurped, might have just been replaced by Robbie Robinson's falling down. And if I remember correctly, now I had a busy day. I didn't get a chance to go back and watch it again today. I wanted to, but I didn't. My memory serves, the dude just fell over. He got his feet tied up when he's got an easy goal. And I've been a defender, I think, of Robbie Robinson. I believe in the kid. He's got a lot of talent. He's been good at times. But what the hell was that, Ed? What the hell? Yeah. He just falls over.
Yeah, man.
He needs to be back on Fort Lauderdale. You know, we want to talk about tonight a little bit about some Fort Lauderdale players coming to enter Miami. You need to ship him back down. I almost cursed. Ship him back down to Fort Lauderdale. Not forget about promoting people. Send him down. The hell?
Yeah, he needs to get some pointers from Iguain or somebody on how to score, man. And
here's the thing. Listen to this. Wait, I'm sorry. 1-1 goal says he never recovered. Stubbins. He never recovered. Is that what we got for Robbie? Robbie looked like crap after that. Will he recover? Yeah. Is he done?
Wow, yeah. Well, Stubbins that's right. I don't remember. I think he went back down to USL or
he didn't last much longer.
It was called. And yeah, he was all of a sudden he was out, and I think last I heard from him he was a coach somewhere. I think USL or something. I don't remember. He just like disappeared.
I don't know.
But yeah, Peter, I don't know what's going to happen with Robbie. Will he survive? I think he went to Chile, and when he came back, because remember he was like on a high for a couple of games. He went to Chile because they called him up for that national team. He wasn't sure if he was going to commit to that team, or if he was going to be called up to the USA. So he came back, and people did not like him for doing that. So yeah, they cursed. Everybody, all the Chilean people were disgusted with him. They'll probably never call him back just because of that little episode. And now. I don't think they're even going to look at him because he missed a sitter, man, and one that was easy.
And part of the reason he bailed out on the Chile thing is because he didn't want to necessarily commit to Chile when he still really dreams about playing for the U.S. national team. Do you think the U.S. national team's going to call him after that?
I don't think they're going to call him right now. He's still got a little ways to go, man. I mean, remember when they did the draft, and there was that other player that now plays for Orlando that we could have gotten.
Daryl Dike.
Yeah, and we got the guy that got the prize, the trophy.
But here's the thing. We didn't pass on DK once. No. We passed on him twice. They could have gotten Robbie Robinson and Daryl Dike.
I should have done this. British use this for another reason. So, yeah.
I don't know.
Twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's hear. Miami Max says, are we going to ignore the sponsor curse? Because that's another thing that's gaining traction on the old interwebs. That since we got the sponsor, and the night that they announced the sponsor was that Red Bull game, right? That we got bashed. What was it? 4 or 5-0? I forgot. They all start blending together.
Yeah,
they all start blending
getting
together.
destroyed lately so much that that I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, Peter, we haven't won since. Man, and I remember this. There's something I think Julio Caballero sent us something. I'm going to go to my trusty WhatsApp real quick because I saw a statistic that was really. Look, it says. In the past 955 minutes, that's 31.2% of the entire season, Peter.
Yes.
Inter Miami has only scored 4 goals.
Damn.
That's 31.2% of the entire season. We've only scored 4 goals.
I think this is funny. I give Esteban a little bit of a hard time from here and there, but I think this is funny. That is why Peloton should have been this football club sponsor. Because that is another thing is that they're still out of shape. And I don't know if you watched the press conference from Phil Neville, but I watch them all on Miami Total Football. Mm-hmm. And speaking of Miami Total Football, we'll talk to them next week. We're going to talk to Franco next week. Almost did it this week, but we're going to talk to him next week. But I watched the press conference, and in the press conference, you've got Phil saying things like, well, first off, about Robbie, he said world-class, I'm paraphrasing, this is my memory, that world-class strikers, they take advantage of those kind of things. They don't, he's not there. He's clearly not there. That's basically what Neville was saying. But he also said something about the fitness level that these players still, because the question was asked, and I don't remember if it was by Franco, but somebody asked the question. Maybe it was by somebody else. But the question was asked about, hey, we're looking at the players, but do the coaches need to look at themselves and what they're doing and readjust and think about for next year specifically what they're doing, or for the next 5 games what they're doing and how that may need to change. And Neville did make a comment about the fitness level. It's still an issue. And then that you need to then look at the coaches, because if fitness level is an issue, that you got to look at that. And man, there was a couple plays where like Matuidi's got to run for it. He's just same situation as Iguain. He ain't going to make it. And I learned, so I thought about this before, but it really drove it home to me this week. Have you ever watched Matuidi's body movement?
He's in slow motion.
Not only slow motion, but he moves like, I don't know, is it like a giraffe? Something? He moves like, and then starts running. I mean, it's like, and then moves. It's he wants to react to a ball. He's like, and reacts. Right. I mean, what the heck is he doing? He's like, his body movements are just awkward. But
we got to check that out. We got to get a little clip of that. Make one of those.
I don't know. That's something I noticed videos for a little while, but then I thought, okay, that's just his movements. But then I saw him in the last game, and I was like, what the hell's wrong with him? And he's slow. So yeah. So
Yeah, he is very slow, and
here Endo's helping us out. Here's the quote. He found it. If you're not fit now, then you're never going to be fit ever. But they also, yeah, right. So that's strong. But that's also, he did talk about, hey, look, we do need to look at ourselves as coaches because of that, as a staff, because we did not do a proper job getting these guys ready then. So it's both. You've got lazy ass players or over the age. Over the hill players, one or the other. Like maybe they're not lazy, maybe they're working hard, but they just can't get there. I don't know.
Right.
I got a lot to.
It's tough.
I got a lot of frustration, Ed. I got a lot of frustration.
No, man, it's just like it's been like this for a while. There's just we haven't had a win in a long time. We've got very few goals, so it's very frustrating. And then we see lists, Peter, of how much they're paying these guys. And
it's a lot.
They basically showed that Inter Miami has the most expensive roster in Major League Soccer, and we're not going to make the playoffs.
And what do they have to show for it? Where do the Revs rank in this list? I'm curious. Because the Revs,
they're not
up there. They're not even, I don't think they're in the top half.
They're not, and I think the only guy De La Garza, who used to be with us, he's playing with them, and now
They
he's
got
probably
him
going to
cheap.
get another championship.
They got him
They
cheap.
sure did.
Well, I don't know if he's getting a championship, but he's definitely got a supporter shield. Right?
So yeah, so that good for him. He made the right move. He went to the right place.
He got lucky.
And look at him now.
He got lucky. He might, at the moment, might have looked at it like, this is unfortunate. I was committed to this club, blah, blah, blah. I was interested in living in South Florida. He got lucky. Got out of Dodge while it was still good. Hey, Ed, Kata's asking, what are our thoughts on Gaderi? Gaderi got a nice start. He's a Fort Lauderdale came up from Fort Lauderdale. What did you think of Gaderi in this game?
I think he's got a little work to do, but hey man, we need all the help we can get, and these guys are gonna, they're gonna be the future of Inter Miami because we have no choice. We got to bring these guys up.
So yeah, but he was fine. He wasn't great. He wasn't bad, but he was fine, and he made some good plays here and there. Some things that maybe he might need some work on, but just needs more time. Right. But probably, I'm going to go on a limb and say, cheap.
There we go. So that's something that the coach knows is going to happen. He's got to use a lot of these guys that are in Fort Lauderdale CF. So he's got no choice than to bring them up or look somewhere else. But I think Chris Henderson's got one hell of a job come this once the season ends because hopefully, that's one of the reasons why I think, Peter, it's important to keep Phil because he needs to have the opportunity to create his own team. He came and he got, whatever was here. And it's not the first time. And Peter disappeared. Whoa.
Somehow my door opened and my dog came in. And so I closed the door behind him.
Okay. Keep the dog out.
Yeah, I just got a very busy house right now. I've got my nephew still living with us from Brazil. Then I have my brother, his wife, and daughter that just came into town because they're going to move from North Carolina to South Florida. So came here to, for a week. It was kind of a short notice thing. So I got a busy house. You might hear a 3-year-old, making some racket in the background.
Yeah. I got some kids over here too, man. As a matter of fact, they thought I was hurt. So look, I got a Band-Aid.
Because they thought you were hurt.
They thought, the baby just said, "Oh, let me put that on."
Right. So here's my question, Ed, and chat. Everybody is saying they're frustrated with Neville's tactics. Okay, I am no tactician. I am just a dummy that likes soccer and likes to talk about it. I am not one of these fake tacticians that are all over Facebook. I'm a dummy. But what I've seen from him, the 3 in the back has worked. That's been the best we've looked in the back. Now, those defenders have to stay on point the entire game, and they don't always.
Yeah.
But I don't know where people are saying tactics are the problem. What do you think about the tactics of Phil Neville? Because for me, it's less about Phil Neville, more about the players. What do you think, Ed?
I think the back 3 was important. It helped us get a few wins. Then we had guys that got yellow cards, and then we got a couple of injuries. So that didn't help, and we were informed for a little bit, and those things I think in the end messed us up. But I think I'm like you, Peter. I'm no tactician. I'm a soccer fan. We're here as soccer fans to we're going to support our team no matter what, 100% all the time. But when they're messing up, we're gonna talk about it.
Of course.
And I just don't think the answer right now is to get rid of Phil. Just because I think he deserves to have a chance, like Alonso wasn't able to do it. To create a team with Chris Henderson and get in the players that he wants, make this team his own. He got a bad deal in the sense that he had all these players that were already here. let's start transitioning right now, Peter, to talk about the players that we don't want, because I think that's what they need to do.
And that's what and in a few minutes, we're going to go to voicemail, which may recover some of what we've already talked about. But we got 2 voicemails so far. So if you guys want to call in, 786-474-4435 to have your voice. And we're going to get to those in a few minutes. But yeah, players that we want to go. So Ed, I did a little Google searching, very little, but a little. I asked everybody else to do the homework because I didn't want to do it. No, I just didn't have time. But what I struggled with was finding was length of contract. And if I remember correctly, most of the DPs were like 3-year contracts, I think. So, those are the guys we definitely want to get rid of, and we still have another year.
And that's something that we can't find. So that's why we also wanted to talk to Franco Paniza, who he's got his connections, and he probably knows better about those.
And I mean, if I dug enough, I could find the articles of when they got signed. Each one of them got signed, and they would have probably been mentioned there. But I just didn't. I found a lot of articles or things that showed how much everybody's getting paid, but not so much the length of contract. So the length of contract is important because we can't just ditch all the players. Like we say, fire everybody. You can't just fire everybody. This is not a first-year team anymore. You don't have when you get a new team in the league, they give you extra money to play around with. So you got a lot of extra monopoly money to spend to build your team. Well, you don't have that this coming year because you're not a new team, and on top of that, you're short a couple $1 million because you cheated. So they've got to cut players already. So we've got to look at budget cuts. But then if you have a player on contract and you want them wiped from your way I understand it, you want them wiped from the payroll. You can only buy out one contract, so you can only buy out one DP. The others you may have to just try to sell off, like Pizarro, which we've talked about, and even people like okay, so LGP and Figal are both some fairly expensive players, and they both play in our defense. They both have at times played center. Right. I mean, right. I think LGP plays more on the left, I think. But Figal plays in the middle. We could get rid of Figal, I guess, and bring in. I
don't know, because LGP is making like $1 million.
LGP definitely makes more. Yeah.
So that's he's right. Yeah. So that's
either way,
and Figal's making like almost 400,000 less.
Is that okay? So you get rid of LGP, who has been good, but we're still crap, right? So if you remove him, are you any worse? I mean, you can't get much worse, right? So I'd say you bring in, and we want to talk about bringing up some of the players that they already kind of own in Fort Lauderdale. So you bring up Mabike, who played not in the last game, but the previous. And Bruni is mentioning the same thing here. Bruni 2589 is agreeing with me that Mabika looks promising, but we don't know what Alvarado can do in MLS, which is true. Another player that's signed but has not seen the field because they signed him injured. I mean, that was crazy. And that, we keep talking about, hey, we got to give Chris Henderson time. That's a Chris Henderson deal. We got to question. He brought in an injured player.
He must have high hopes for the guy, and he must be cheap, probably.
I don't know. I don't know his price.
He must have a plan for that, and he probably thinks that this is a guy that we can use in the future, because obviously he was injured. So he knew Shawcross is probably gone.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I imagine he's just going to retire, I would think. I mean, back problems. Feel bad for the guy, but yeah, I think he's done.
Leardom as well. I don't. He's just been making too many mistakes.
What kind of money has Leardom make?
He's making $297,000.
So that's not bad. I mean, he does make mistakes, but you do need depth. Do you keep him and just keep him on the bench for those times where we have injuries? And he's okay. He does cost us some goals here and there, but he's not your normal starter unless you're in problem.
Right. But, we should have started from the top because we didn't.
All right.
I just was. Gonzalo,
yeah. Mabike was on my mind, so that's why we went there.
Okay.
And Baldwin is saying Alvarado is
for the
cheap.
most expensive down.
Go ahead.
And American.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, let's start from the most expensive players. Should they stay or should they go? Sounds like a song.
Should they stay or should they go?
The Clash.
Yes.
All right. Gonzalo Iguain.
Get him out of here!
Most expensive,
but he's going to be here.
Most expensive player.
He'll be here next
year.
year.
I think so too. But I think it's obvious he doesn't have the speed that he used to have.
No.
So I'm thinking he's gonna be the playmaker next year.
I would prefer for him to be a playmaker, and my opinion of him will probably drastically change. Yes, he's our best goal scorer. He scored, I think, 10 goals. And I remember saying at the beginning of this year on this show that if he did not score 15 or more, it would be a failure.
Right.
I'm not sure he's going to get to 15. And so
he's already double digits, but I don't know. At this pace.
And 15 was me being generous because other people, friends of ours, were saying 20.
Yeah.
And it would, if not 20, it'd be a failure.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, I think you put him in the midfield and he's looking good, but that's an expensive midfielder. But yeah, I think he's definitely,
he has better ball control. Yeah. And he can see the plays ahead of time. So I think, instead of him complaining all the time that the ball doesn't come to him, he'll be the guy that's going to be providing.
Such a complainer, such a
He
whiner. My God!
No,
and some of the times the things he whines about are his fault. Like if I remember correctly in this game, or maybe it was another game, but I think it was in this last game. He like made a pass towards Morgan, and he was kind of complaining at Morgan, and I'm just thinking, it was just a bad pass, dude.
No, it happened. Okay, the guy that they brought in that was supposed to be our number 10, our playmaker, was Rodolfo Pizarro, and he's the second most expensive player, $3 million. There is word, I think I mentioned it last week, that he might go back to Mexico. There's this rich guy that wants to take him to Chivas, him and Carlos Vela from LAFC.
Do it.
So if that happens, let him go.
They may. I wonder. Do they make any money on him, or do they lose a little bit? At the end of the day, it ain't my. It's not my money, so I don't care. Get him out of here.
Yeah. At this point, he hasn't done what we all expected him to do. And
look. It was questioned to him in the post game conference about why he put in Indiana Vasilev over, in the same position over Pizarro. And he basically kind of said, well, we want goals. He didn't have belief that Pizarro was able to deliver. And he's our DP. You put in Vasilev, who's on loan, I think it's a loan, and he's cheap.
Yeah. So, wait. We wanted goals. We didn't get any goals, but, whatever.
Okay, but so but let's pause there. So you're getting rid of Pizarro. Who do you bring in? Do you bring in somebody like what Kata is mentioning? Do you bring up Acosta to kind of play in that same position that Pizarro is supposed to play in? Acosta's looked pretty good with Fort Lauderdale. Does he finally get a chance here with the Inter Miami squad? Local kid, Miami kid?
I think he is coming up. I think if anything, he's going to be on the bench if they don't bring anybody to replace Pizarro. I actually think they're going to push Iguain back and probably have Acosta as a backup, or maybe playing on the side, depending on what the tactic is that the coach is going to do. So, I think if Iguain is playing back as the playmaker, then we open up a space. If we get Pizarro out, and the next guy, Matuidi, who's our other DP.
God, I hate Matuidi.
Who, dude.
I like Pizarro way more than I like Matuidi. Matuidi's been a thorn in my side since he joined this club. There's moments that I liked him, but overall,
I just got a message saying they need to get rid of Iguain also. So, everybody
but they're
got
not.
their opinions.
They're not.
Yeah,
they're not.
I think Iguain's probably going to stay. His brother might be already, out.
But Federico only cost them like a little over $80,000.
Yeah, he does.
Why not keep him? What
$80,000?
What harm? Keep him, and then he brings in a spark in the last 20 minutes of the game. He's so cheap. It's amazing how cheap he is because he was a stud in Columbus.
Right. So
I know he's at the end of his career.
People loved him in Columbus.
I know he's at the end of his career, but for that price, and when the situation where we are cash strapped for next year, you got to keep him.
It might be somebody that we might keep. But yeah, Matuidi's the other guy that we need to get rid of. So, if we get rid of Pizarro and Matuidi, then we've got 2 DPs. That I think is what's going to happen.
Yeah. But now keep in mind, if they want to go out and use those 2 DPs, they got to go cheap in other positions. They are using less money. Now, the thing is, you talked about Inter Miami being the highest paying team. And so we're down $2 million, right? And I'm not, I've read it 2 different ways, so I'm not 100% sure. I've read that it's $1 million per year, but then I've read that it's $2 million per year. So I'm not 100% sure, but let's just go with it being $2 million just for argument. And so let's say they're down $2 million, then you're still at $2 million payroll less. Where does that put us, Ed? If you look at your list, you have a list of some of the payrolls. If you look at us minus $2 million, are we in the LAFC pay rate?
We would be, yeah. We actually, gosh, let me see. LAFC's $14 million. We're at $17 million.
So we're still
18.
spending more than LAFC. Now, LAFC is not lighting up the world this year, but we know they're a quality club. So at $2 million, if the club is put together well, if Henderson does his job, which we all have faith in him, if he does his job, then we still have plenty of money to be competitive in this league. And remember, we talked about New England. I don't know where they are in this payroll, but they're not near, and they're not even in the top half.
They're not in the top 10.
Right, they're not in the top 10. So we could do this if it's put together right.
We can do it, yes. And after Matuidi, we got LGP, who's making him about $1 million. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's, he kind of disappears sometimes. I think all the guys in the back, Futbol as well. Some games he's just on top of it, and some games he's not. It's going to be tough, man. I think we might keep LGP. I think he's good enough.
He is good, but
for us to keep him.
He is good. You know where LGP really shines is some of those long ball passes. I'm not a fan of long ball soccer, but he knows how to do it right. Some of those long ball passes that he makes connect.
I think he might stay. The next guy in the line is Carranza, who's making $750,000. Carranza hasn't done anything.
He's got to go.
I think they had a lot of faith in him. He's one of the guys that Tubby brought in. And
all right.
Both guys that Tubby brought in, just Pellegrini had to be shipped out, and Carranza also hasn't done enough.
So let's pause there and look at Fort Lauderdale's roster. And if you look at Fort Lauderdale, Mitch Curry is their number 1 goal scorer with 8 goals. Oh no, I'm sorry. Hundal has 9 goals. Mitch Curry has 8. So do at least in preseason for sure, you've got to bring in both. Mitch Curry and Sean Hundal need to both get a shot, because either one of those guys can bring you as much as Carranza's done, because Carranza scored what? How many goals has Carranza scored this year? 1, 2?
No, 2, I think. Maybe 3.
These guys can probably at least do what Carranza's done, right? So, and again, you're going to get them cheap. These are Fort Lauderdale CF players. Mitch Curry is an English player. I forgot what clubs he came from. The chat can remind us. But he's with Fort Lauderdale, so he's cheap playing Division III soccer. So he's cheap. You get rid of Carranza, bring up Mitch Curry and or Sean Hundal. At least both should get a shot in preseason. When we see preseason games up at the Tampa Bay Rowdies again or something like that, we should see these guys.
Yeah, and we need to pick the best one out of the 2. And we've got Gregory, who I think, after Carranza, Gregory makes $651,000. We keep him. I think he's been the best player this season.
100%.
He's our captain. He's probably going to remain being our captain the way that he's been going. So that's the guy we're going to keep.
100%.
No problem, right? Figal comes right after that. $630,000 is what he's making.
I don't know if he's worth $6. I mean, I like Futbol. I mean, I remember still watching him play against Tampa Bay Rowdies, and I was just like, man, I like this guy in the preseason, the first year. I do like him.
Yeah.
So I mean,
all right.
Yeah.
There's decisions that need to be made. Morgan is going to stay. I think he's been regular enough.
Interesting thing is somebody brought in the chat. Who brought it up? I'm looking for it. Somebody brought something up in the chat about Morgan. I bet that a One World One goal says, I bet Morgan asks for a transfer. He is not happy here. Such a talent not blooming anymore. Now, I don't know if he's happy or not. I'm not buddies with him. He doesn't talk to me. So, seems happy he seems happy enough when you see him interviewed.
Right.
But his productivity has definitely dipped. I mean, so much so to where now Gonzalo takes the corner kicks because you can't depend on Morgan. And I saw somebody in the chat, and it might have been Bruni who mentioned this, but somebody mentioned that Morgan thrived much more under the previous coach. And
under Alonso, yeah.
Right. So is it the coaching, or is it, what they're expecting out of him, or is it just him as a player that he's dipped? I think I tend to blame it more on the player than the coach. Coach just sets up tactics, and the player just goes out and plays. And the players, for the most part, they don't know. Once a game started, they don't really listen to the coach. They're doing whatever the hell they want to do.
Yeah, it's however the flow of the game goes.
Right, but 2 one world goals, one world one goals point. Is it possible that Morgan goes and he asks for a trade? Now they did redo his contract, and he got so he's got a nice good contract.
I don't know if he's gonna wherever he goes, unless it's the back to the Premiership or something like that. He needs to take a step up.
He can't.
He goes, I don't know.
Whatever we do, we cannot send him to some other team in MLS, because you know what'll happen. He'll regain his former glory. He'll tear us up, and we'll go, why the hell did we get rid of Morgan? That's what'll happen.
Want to do that.
So you want to see him out of the league if he goes. But I'm with Cotto. As bad as Morgan has been this year, you give him at least one more year, because he has proven he's proven himself. Right. And even when he's not playing at his best, he is giving an amazing effort. And doesn't stop running. Sometimes we look at our players, and you listen to the commentators last night, Ray Hudson and all these guys. They're talking about players. Kalen Kyle is really focusing on this. That players, this is the time to show the heart, to show that they give a damn, to show that they care about this club and the crest. And they didn't. It didn't show it. Morgan does show it week in and week out.
So I think Morgan, it's safe to say that he will remain on the team. I mentioned Shawcross already. He's making like $307,000.
I think he'll retire.
He's injury prone. I think he's gone. Yeah. Leardom, I also mentioned. I think a lot of people are going to ask for his head. But you mentioned it. He's making
it's not that much.
$97,000. Right. He's proven himself with Seattle before when he's played there for a while.
Yeah.
He's been pretty regular, so maybe give him another chance. He's definitely cheap enough. So, one of your favorites here. I'm sorry. Jones is another guy, $273,000.
Get rid of him. He's been injured too much.
Okay. Your best friend Ulloa, man, I'm getting. People are just sending me messages about
because we're not because because I'm not putting their chats up, because we're talking, we got a flow here, so I'm not putting up the chats. So if I'm not putting up the chats, they're like, I'm gonna go direct.
Yeah, they're sending me messages about everything that we're talking about right now. So I think it's kind of cool, but it kind of takes me off my our That's conversation. All right. But all right,
hey,
so
we got to get to the voicemails too, so we got to start wrapping this up.
Yeah, Ulloa, he's making 220,000 beans right there.
Ulloa's been one of the better players this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we're gonna definitely keep him. Chapman, what do you think about Chapman? I think
Chapman's been good.
He's had some good stuff. I think he's another player that can come off the bench. Makoun, he's had his ups and downs. I think, but I think we keep him.
Thrived under this 3-man back line. Does he still have some bad moments? Yes, but the whole back line does. So I think, you keep him, especially at that price.
Your favorite Robinson.
He's sticking around because of his price. And, when you draft a player, you tend to get him cheap. So he's sticking around. But he should not be the starter anymore. Right. And I have been a champion of his because at moments he's looked good. And I've told people to give him time. But, man, after that last game, he might need to play a few games, at least a few games in Fort Lauderdale. Now, Fort Lauderdale season's basically over because I think they're playing right now. But their last game. But next year, you might need to put him down there a little bit so he can get some confidence back.
Right. Maybe at a lower level, he'll be able to score some more goals, and then he'll feel a little bit better.
Wait a minute. Baldwin 4 is saying, can we bring back Ben Sweat, Peter? No! No, we cannot.
That's Peter Brown's favorite right there, Ben Sweat. No, where did Ben end up going anyway? Didn't he go to?
Was it New York?
I think he went to Austin or something.
No, Austin.
Like that.
I don't know. I don't remember. He came from New York. I don't know where he went. I forgot.
Yeah. All right. So McCarthy's the next guy. He's the backup goalie. So I think he's probably going to stay.
He's fine. He's a good backup. He was our starter for a while. He's a good backup.
Here's another guy that's being underpaid, and I think he's probably one of the better players in the team. Brek Shea.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, and they talked about him being, Neville talked about him being the player that gives him the least amount of headaches. You tell him to play a position, he's like, okay. Even if it's not his position, he's like, okay.
And he plays well with whatever position that he's in.
Yeah,
every time that he comes in.
He's not your starter week in and week out. He could start from time to time, but he's a solid team player. You keep him on the field, and he can definitely open up the defense in the second half. I mean, he's an attack-minded player. Yeah, right. Exactly. Here, Shea, Jazz Houston says, Shea is their Swiss Army knife. I like that.
He sure
I like
is.
That.
He's got everything, so that's good. Hold on, because my Siri just opened up right now, and I don't want her talking on top of us. So I think it's safe to say that Shea is one of the guys that we're going to keep. What do you think about Callender? He's another goalkeeper.
He's fine. You need 3, and he's actually playing with Fort Lauderdale, so that's fine.
We mentioned Federico Iguain, so we can wrap this up quick. He's cheap. You think he can add some spark still if he doesn't want to retire?
And at the very least, maybe he keeps Gonzalo happy.
Then he's got his bro here.
It's worth $80,000. I'm playing with Monopoly money. It's not mine. So
yeah, same thing. George Acosta, who's he's
listed there, but he's been playing with Fort Lauderdale. It's time for him to get time in the prime time. Hey, where does Vasilev fit in this? Because Kata is asking about Vasilev, keep or let loan expire. What do you think?
I think he's been somewhat regular. I think he comes in. I just haven't seen him play that much for me to really have a good judgment on him.
Kata, I would ask you, what is his price if we were to buy him? I don't know the answer to that right off the top of my head. I don't have time. I can't research it right now. But he's been good. But if he's going to be expensive to buy out the loan, I'd say no. He's not that good.
Right. And let's wrap this up real quick, Peter. We've got Josh Penn. All these guys are at the lowest.
Penn was a draft pick.
63.
Penn was a draft pick that's been playing with Fort Lauderdale, but he hasn't been starting lately. So he's not even starting with Fort Lauderdale. I don't know if he's injured or not. I'm not sure.
He might be. Ian Frey.
He's been injured, but he's just now coming back. So it'll be interesting to see what he looks like coming back. He may need to play a few games with Fort Lauderdale, but I think he's now training and everything like that. But he's been out for the entire season.
We got Felipe Valencia and Edison Ascona. Ascona, I think, needs a little more time to play. But what little I saw of him, he looked like he was promising. According
to reports, he may also need some time to mature. Because those are some of the reports. I think Franco Panizo was mentioning something about that at one point, that there was some questions about his maturity level and that maybe he was being benched because of that. So
interesting, right? Well,
here Bruni's answering this question for us. Penn got loaned out to the Battery or another team in the USL Championship, so he got loaned out. Okay,
no idea.
Kata's answering the question I just asked. about Vasilov. Peter, according to the transfer market, it's $250,000, around $275 to $280 in dollars
that he's making.
I guess the transfer market amount. So that's what we would, I guess, have to pay to get him. I don't know. Hey, are we done? Can we move to some voicemails?
Done.
All right,
we're
last
done.
10 minutes.
Let's move on.
Last 10 minutes. Let's go through these voicemails. Here we go. Right here.
This is Mitch and Pavoni from Coconut Creek.
Can you hear that? Okay.
Gable.
These two people, yeah.
And, well, what can you say? This is a really bad team. Inter Miami is really bad. I mean, I know that your show, I saw your little promo for your show saying that people are calling for everyone to be fired and to start over. Well, it is hard to defend anyone at this point. There's definitely a lot of players who just are not earning their money. But, I'm still a fan, still support, still buy all the gear, still love the whole experience of the team being here. But it's kind of depressing. I really don't even have any more analysis other than that. It's hard to defend anyone. I do have faith that Chris Henderson can clean this up. He brought in Gregory, and he's one of the few bright spots. Oh, maybe not lately, but for most of the season, he's been a bright spot. Except for he does play a little bit out of control and gets too many cards. But so I do have faith that Chris Henderson can fix this. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens next year. All right, guys, take care.
All right, here we go. Next call. I mean, I don't think there's much to talk about there. I think we covered a lot of what he was saying. Let's go to the next call here.
Good evening, everybody. Fam. Damn. Shout out to my guys, Uncle Ed, a.k.a. El Tío de Doral, and my guy downtown, Peter Brown. This is your favorite uncle, Uncle Ned. I want to shout out to my guys. I haven't talked to you guys in a while. Peace and blessings to the family and to the room. Shout out to all you guys, Jazz Fusion, Jet Pancake, and the lovely Italia, and the other guys that are out there in that room. I'm not going to hold you guys up. I just want to let you know, and I haven't talked to you in a while, so I just wanted to give my 2 cents on what's going on with Inter Miami. So they are who we thought they were. Why are we acting like we don't know that this team is not good? I mean, now we want to pretend like, what the hell is going on with this team? We knew they weren't good. We knew they weren't good even when they were, on their 6-game winning streak or what have you. They're structurally flawed. They are structurally flawed. We got one DP that is very moody, very much in his feelings. He's a diva. He needs ball service, and if he doesn't get the ball service that he wants, he goes berserk, okay? And he doesn't mind showing up his own teammates on the field during an actual game. So you can only imagine how he is in practice, okay? We got another guy who has lost not 1 step, not 2 steps, but 30 steps, okay? We can't even resell him at this point because he's old, and I'm going to say it, and I'm a Matuidi fan, but he is washed up. He is beyond washed up. And somebody said maybe we could sell him to China or somewhere in the Middle East. If they got a DVD player or YouTube out there and they can watch Matuidi's games over here at Inter Miami, I wouldn't put any money for him, would you? I mean, would you sign him? I wouldn't. And then we got another DP who, maybe he's our best bet as far as getting some type of value for him. But hey, if Neville's not going to play him, we're not going to even be able to get value for him either. Okay, So we're
Okay, part 2's coming because, you know, Uncle Ned is never short.
Yeah, so just real quick. So in closing, that's pretty much our best option of possibly selling one of our DPs and Pizarro. As far as everybody else, from what I've heard, you can pretty much overturn a roster in any sport by 25% after each season. So right now, let's play the young guys, right? Let's see what we have in them. And then as far as our journeyman players like a Ulloa, a Chapman, so on and so forth, let's see what we got in these guys. Because I already have in my mind who I would bring back, and maybe that's a show that we can do in the future. Who stays and who goes. Right now, it's not even a matter if we make it to the playoffs. Right now, it's just trying to
stop the bleeding,
recoup our dignity, because we've been getting embarrassed out here. So let's just see what we have in these final couple of weeks and move from there. And hopefully somebody shows us something as far as our young players are concerned. And that way we have something to go into 2022 with a you know, a little bit of a hope in our heart. I'm anxious to see Ascona, and I'm anxious to see George Acosta. I'm anxious to see Mabika. I thought he did pretty well last week, and I'd like to see Mitch Curry out there. If we got guys out here like Julian Carranza, he can't even hit a broadside of a barn right now. If we've got guys out here that we're paying $600,000 to $700,000 to, upwards of $1 million to $2 million to $3 million, and they're not performing, get them the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying? We don't need them. Let's see what we got with our young guys. So anyway, that's pretty much it in closing. Keep your heads up, guys. I think we got the greatest. We got one of the best GMs in the league right now as our GM and sporting director, and I think he's going to do well. So have faith in Chris Henderson, and a brighter future. Believe it or not, a brighter future is only a year or two away for us from us, guys. So just keep your heads up, and I'm going to say peace to the chat room. See you guys later. Shout out to my guys, Uncle Ed in downtown Peter Brown. Have a good night. Bye.
My favorite comment of the night, Uncle Ned, just real quick.
Uncle Ned can talk, I'll tell you that much.
And Eric Thomas says, folks, for Uncle Ned, this is quick.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff by Uncle Ned all the time.
But yeah, he is right as far as, hey, we're acting like we're all surprised. We knew this team was bad even when they were winning. And I think we said that here on this channel, that, you know, don't get too excited. And in the next game, somebody was asking about the expectations of the next game. Hey, they're playing Toronto. We've beat Toronto. Toronto's a bad team. But hey, so are we. So you never know. But I would
think they're
like
a little worse than we are. And they're also on the list of the most expensive roster,
They
man.
are. They are.
So
all right, one more call as we're burning through these at the end. These are great though, so thank you so much. And we got to end the show, Ed, because I got to go I got to go pee. Too much of this. Oh my God, I'm exploding here. Let's listen to this one.
Hey, Peter and Uncle Ed and all the great fans. It's Italia, one world, one goal. I know everybody's like a bit down, not to be Debbie Downer, right, about the team. So we got to really just kind of keep our spirits up and give them time to turn it around. Chris Henderson, I think, will be able to make great achievements. You mentioned the Fusion opening day. That was like the most amazing game ever because it was new and it was fun and we finally had MLS. So hopefully that same level of excitement, you know, it took like about 2.5 years for us to really, really gel as a team. And the third year they started doing great. And the fourth year we almost won the championship. So looking at the same kind of timeline, let's see what they do. And big hug to everybody there. And Diego Serna 17 doing good. He's bringing players up from Colombia and putting them on teams. He put one on Portland. And so we'll see if he can get some players over to Chris. Because we need some young blood, we need some South American talent, We can still look at Central American and European as well, but that homegrown academy is going to serve us well in 2-3 years. So everybody sit tight, and we'll all have a beer together hopefully next year. Love you guys. Love the show.
Leave it to, completely unrelated, but leave it to Eric Thomas to call me out for my beverage choices. This is a Topo Chico. Topo Chico, not a, they were on sale at Publix. Buy one, get one free. He's asking if it's even considered an adult beverage. It's 4.7% alcohol. I mean, it's got something in there. Not a lot.
But it's enough.
And exactly, Bruni knows where I'm coming from. Low carb. And they're always on sale. Different brands, but whatever. And exactly, Bruni. Bruni gets me. Seltzers keep you hydrated. Not really. There is alcohol in them. Ed.
Peter Brown, I guess we had this was kind of like a pity party because, we've...
because really, that's the kind of year it's been.
It's been one of them years, and we're hoping that, we basically the playoffs are unobtainable.
I think it's still mathematically possible, but they got to win every game and probably hope some teams lose. It's kind of like last year's situation where we had to, hope some people, lost. So chances are slim to none.
Right.
But mathematically.
Miracles do happen, Peter.
That's what I hear.
So, but I think we've covered basically everything that we were going to talk about. Remember, guys, next week we're going to have, look at that, fizzy and antioxidants.
I'll just keep putting up Bruni. Bruni's got my back, He's got my back. He does
have your back. And his brother's going to be on here next week.
Franco
Panizo, yes.
Next week. We've had Franco on and off our show for years. So good friend of the show. And he's got a lot of hot takes. And so we'll talk about him. He'll get his opinions on everything that probably... Unfortunately, next week's show may be similar as this week's show, but we'll get a different perspective next week with Franco. So,
and he probably knows all the contracts and all that.
Yeah, we can definitely. Bruni's like, really? He didn't tell me. Well, Bruni, it just kind of happened. Just before the show went, like 20 minutes before the show went live, it just kind of happened. He was almost on tonight's show, but then we decided, you know what? Let's push it to next week so we could properly promote and give Franco some love. So, and of course, being his brother, you can't wait to haze him next week.
Oh boy.
Well, anyways, hey everybody, thanks so much for joining. And as always, make sure you go to Canes, where mention Football Miami TV. Let them know that their advertising dollars are going well. But regardless of advertising dollars, it's the best deal in town. They're just cheaper. That's it. Point blank. They are just cheaper. So go there. Caneswear. Caneswear.com. Go online. It works. 90 orders of $99 or more, you get free shipping. So do it. And on that note, Ed. I think that's all we got. Please share, and subscribe. Oh, I almost forgot. Everybody, go to the next home game or the one after that, and you, if you're a season ticket holder, can finally pick up your season ticket member box. And because
nice.
I'm going to get 3 of them, because one for every ticket, Ed, you will get 2. And we will do here on the channel, we'll do an unboxing video. I'll film some sort of unboxing video. I know that's a popular thing here on the YouTubes with the young kids.
Do it.
With the young kids. So we'll do an unboxing video of the season ticket member box. So we'll look forward to that. I should be able to pick mine up on Wednesday at the Toronto FC match.
Wednesday, Peter Brown. Okay, so this coming Wednesday is the next game?
Yes.
All right, I can't go, which means...
Sorry.
Yeah, which means I'm going to give those 2 tickets away. Guys, leave a comment. Leave a comment not here in the chat, but leave it in the comments after the videos once it's done, and we're going to raffle it out to the whoever puts tickets. Just put tickets. Wednesday tickets.
Eric's calling me out saying we need to chip in and get downtown a pair of adult diapers so he could do an extended show. Look, I could do an extended show if I could go run to the bathroom real quick. It's just right there. This is right over there. Anyways, I also have family from out of town, so I got to go. And thanks. So, all right. So leave a comment. You said, Ed.
Leave a comment, and one of those whoever leaves a comment, we'll pick one from there.
And remember, part of your prize or penalty, depends on how you look at it, is you sit next to me.
You get 2 tickets. 2 of you lucky people are going to get to sit next to Peter Brown. And maybe he'll buy you a beer, too. Or you should buy him a beer.
Maybe. If you watch the YouTube channel, maybe I will. The last time this happened, we gave away some tickets to, who was it, Ed?
Gosh, I forgot who it was, but yeah,
Chris Arjun. You gave him away to Chris Arjun, and he didn't come, but he was filming. He was photographing, but he gave them to 2 of his coworkers. These 2 ladies were awesome. I love these 2. They sat next to me. They were awesome because they were talking about Chris, and then I go, "Hey, you're friends with Chris?" As we started talking. These ladies didn't know much about football, but they were awesome. They were my entertainment. They were great.
Good times.
All right, so let's do that. All right, everybody, thanks so much. And we will do this again next week. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Great chat tonight. It was a lot of fun. You guys make it fun, so thank you. See you later. I got to go take a pee.